Check it out. Check it out.
Check it out! Oh, check it out! Go check it out.
You knocked down Lion-O. Lion-O.
Sword of Omens. Give me sight beyond sight.
You don't get to see Lion-O anymore.
Thundercats! Ho!
Thundercats! Oh! What are you doing?
Camera one. Camera two. Camera one. Camera two.
What's in your hand? Ah. You got the key.
Weirdest introduction and unprepared. Let me put this on. El Mute. El Pastor.
Oh, well. Don't say that.
I like them tacos. El Pastor.
Al Pastor?
That's what I said.
Okay.
El Pastor.
Okay. All right. Ready?
I need a minute.
Welcome back to season 3 of Heavy Metal Horror Show. On today's episode, we're going to be getting into the 1980 classic, The Shining. This movie is so eerie. I saw it as a kid, probably way too young to see it when I saw it. And when I went back and watched it, I felt those same feelings I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's just one of those movies that can never be replicated.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, some of those, just the scenery, like all the imagery, the audio, everything. Kubrick did a good job, like really making that movie as annoying as hell.
Oh yeah.
Or not annoying, but like all the shrieking and it just makes you like real unnerved.
Yeah. It is a really unnerving movie. This movie had an all-star cast in it. Jack Torrance, played by Jack Nicholson. And then Wendy Torrance, played by
Shelley Duvall.
And Danny Lloyd played his son, Danny. The other main actor in the movie was Scatman Clothers, who was Halloran in the movie. He was the chef.
Dick!
Of the hotel. Dick Halloran, yeah.
I was just hollering his name.
So basically, Jack Torrance is a teacher / out of work writer, and he volunteered to go to this hotel with his family over the winter so that he could maintain it, right? And it's exactly what he wanted. He wanted this job so he can concentrate on his writing because he was writing a book.
Yeah, it's kind of secluded out in the mountains.
Yeah, like way out there in Colorado. So Jack Torrance drives all the way up to the hotel by himself for an interview. I think it's like 3 hours away from where his family lived. And the interview went pretty well, and he immediately feels sort of attached to this hotel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his wife, Wendy, calls him.
He mentions knowing what's going to be around every corner in the hotel, you know?
Yeah.
It just felt really familiar to him.
Like a really strong deja vu, I think he said, right?
Yeah.
So he's there, and he feels this really strong connection to the hotel. But there's a backstory to the hotel.
So he learns that that the previous caretaker at some point kind of lost his mind and basically offed his family and then himself. Can we say it that way? We're supposed to say it a certain way.
And in that interview, the manager of the Overlook Hotel tells Jack what happened. So although Jack knew that, he still agreed to bring his family there. And after a while, he started to follow in the same footsteps as the previous caretaker. He started to slowly lose his mind while he was trying to also write this novel. And things just sort of got out of hand from there. It was one of Jack Nicholson's best performances ever. It was so believable when he...
Because he's a crazy bastard in real life.
Yeah, he's crazy in real life. Yeah. But I mean, just his like dramatic like mood swings and things like that, and like it's almost like as if he played 3 or 4 characters like in one movie, and sometimes like back to back.
Yeah.
Which was pretty incredible to watch if you really examine his facial expressions.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was gonna say. His expressions, just it's just him, his character in real life.
One of the things that really made this movie eerie was the use of a camera for the first time in any major motion picture called a Steadicam. And there's a backstory behind the Steadicam. A man by the name of Garrett Brown actually created a short demo called 30 Impossible Shots. And it was just a demo using this camera that he invented, which allowed him to separate the person from the actual shot. So it made smooth transitions. Even if you were running, for example, the camera stayed steady. And Kubrick, who directed The Shining, stumbled upon this demo, and he immediately called him and said, hey, I believe that this is going to be the future of filming in movies. This is incredible. There is one thing though, in the demo, I noticed that there's a silhouette of the camera, and if you don't want anyone to really know your design or what you did, you might want to look at that and take it out. And sure enough, he went back and he saw that there was a silhouette of the camera in certain parts of his demo, and he actually cut those scenes. Then Kubrick employed him for The Shining. And there's a lot of iconic shots that wouldn't have been possible without this particular camera, particularly the scene where Danny's riding his tricycle down the hall. He actually hooked up the Steadicam to a wheelchair, and he was sitting in a wheelchair with the Steadicam, and he was following Danny on the tricycle, and the camera was about 2 inches off the ground. It was the first time that was ever done in that way, and that's how they got that shot going down the hall for Danny. And it was also the way that they got the shot when they were running through the labyrinth as well, because it was a guy running with them with the camera, but it wasn't going up and down. It was just steady, as if it was on the track, but it was a person holding it.
Yeah.
But it made so many scenes in that movie so much more eerie and so much more smooth that and those scenes wouldn't have been possible before that invention.
Nice.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was wondering how they did that. So
I wasn't, but I'm glad I know now. No.
The more you know.
Thank you for your contribution to changing the cinematic history there, Mr. Brown. Was that his name? Brown?
Mr. Brown.
Was that the name of a song?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's better that way. Another cool shot was later on in the movie when they're having a conversation in the bathroom when one of the guys, I guess the previous caretaker, accidentally dumps drinks all over Jack. So, So they're talking, they go to the bathroom so they can clean him up or whatever. And the camera angles that Kubrick used there were not typical. He broke the rule on purpose, where there's like a 180 degree rule in filmmaking where you want the camera to be placed in a specific spot where it never passes that 180 degree plane.
Yeah.
So it always looks like we're actually having a conversation, but the camera is shot from different angles where it makes it hard to, if you don't really look for it, you might not even notice it. You just be like, this kind of feels weird.
Feels weird, yeah.
But it, now that you know it and you look for it, they're they never look like they're talking like you and I. It's always like he's talking here.
It's an odd angle, sort of. Yeah.
And it just it kind of creates this weird tension.
It does.
And it's supposedly, that was done on purpose to make the audience feel that way.
Wow.
So that way you can feel like something is a little bit off as you're watching Jack in real time losing his mind, talking to the previous caretaker.
Huh.
when that character's telling him, you know, certain things about the movie or about what's going on.
Mr. Grady, weren't you once the caretaker here?
What is it?
You know, and you can sense him losing his mind, and you kind of feel it too, because you're like, something is weird about
You do,
this,
yeah,
this shot.
yeah.
And that was done on purpose. The more you learn about the movie, the more you want to. For me, I wanted to kind of pay attention to those things this last time around watching it, and still there's like some unanswered questions in there too, you know. So I mean, I can watch it a couple more times and still find something that I didn't see the previous time, or it's going to create more questions, you know.
That's true. So there are different conspiracies in this movie, right? I mean, like the moon landing hoax. So Danny wore an Apollo sweater on the show, and in the room 237, well, it said to reference that the moon was 237,000 miles away from Earth. You know, some people inferred that Kubrick may have filmed the moon landing scene, but he didn't come out and say it. And so a lot of people sort of read into that and thought that it was Kubrick's way of telling the world that it was a hoax and that he actually filmed it. You know, there's a lot of people who believe that to be true.
Kubrick left America in 1965 because he wanted to get away from the Hollywood world, apparently. And he wanted to go where he would have more freedom over his works, you know, over his creativity. So he moved out of America. And then it was the following year that the moon landing happened, you know, like the very next year. And then I think it was like 3 years later, he released, I think it's 2001 Space Odyssey. And then in 80, like 15 years later, he did The Shining. And yeah, so he people's thoughts are he was dropping all these little hints in a movie as like kind of a Easter eggs or a confession to, like, you know, I filmed this.
I did that.
You know, that, you know, I did that back in the day, you know. Something else that I heard though recently was that like his daughter denied it, because she said that she was with him all those years at that time, at, you know, being, I guess, he, you know, his young daughter. She was like, I was always with him, and he didn't film a moon landing, you know. So
that's what she would say.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're out there, Mrs. I guess she wouldn't be Kubrick anymore. I don't know. Let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I'm sure that you'll see this video. I mean, we're everywhere.
Are you full of shit? Or is everybody else full of shit?
So this movie was released in 1980.
Yes.
And when it was released, it had a budget of $19 million. And it made $50 million at the box office.
Wow! Damn.
So it did pretty well.
Where is this box office? I hear a lot about this box office.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah. Where is this? You know.
And speaking of England, the majority of the movie was actually filmed. The interior shots were filmed at EMI Elstree Studios in England. So all the interior shots, you know, that look like a big hotel, that was all studio stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. And they did a really good job because it's, you know, so convincing, right?
I hope so. $19 million. I could build you a nice looking place too.
The exterior shots were shot at the Timberline Lodge in Oregon. So that's all like the, you know, exterior shots of the actual hotel itself. And the opening scene is filmed in Glacier National Park in Montana. The scene where like the car is going up the mountain and through the caves and all that stuff. So three different locations the movie was filmed to make it look like it was in one hotel, you know.
So there's some film in Montana, you said, and Oregon.
Yeah.
But what I found and what I was just saying was like he left America and never did come back because he wanted creative control.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
So,
they,
I don't know.
maybe it was like a remote position.
Maybe so.
Maybe someone like got the footage and like sent it to him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder how that works. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Because all the interior shots were filmed in England, where he was, right? And I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there wasn't much going on. I mean, because Yeah, there's not a whole lot of outdoor stuff
Yeah.
outside of the hotel. So
Yeah.
so many hidden gems and things that he snuck into this movie. King didn't care for, this adaptation of his book.
Yeah,
And
he changed up some things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He changed up a lot of it. And, like Wendy was supposed to have like golden blonde hair and stuff. And,
Huh.
yeah. Yeah, the typewriter was supposed to be some other American-made typewriter, but Kubrick used a German one.
Huh.
And some of this stuff I'm pulling from, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and stuff lately and gotten into like the conspiracy theory type
Yeah.
stuff.
What about the chef? What was his name?
Dick Holleran or something
Halloran.
like
Halloran Dick. Yeah.
Yes. So what about the chef Halloran in the movie? Wasn't that different as well than the book?
that. Yeah, he didn't die, and he wasn't killed in the book, but they killed him in the movie to create more suspense, to have an actual murder in the movie, because that's like it's the only one that you. I mean, there's some other scenery, but that's the only like, like where you see the action of it happening,
Right.
and and they wanted to show the how much effect the hotel actually had on Jack,
Okay.
and how kind of to create that more tension with Danny and Wendy, and how severe their situation was, because the only person that came out to check on them is now dead. I don't know how far down this rabbit hole you want to go, but Kubrick is all about like the high societies and Illuminati and all that stuff, which there's a lot of imagery throughout the movie.
Yeah.
In the hotel itself, really. There's the big ballroom scene, which is the same scene when Jack gets the drink spilled on him because he's at the ballroom party.
Yeah.
And this hotel is not just like a typical hotel that anybody would go stay at. It's actually, for the upper echelon elites and stuff like that. So it's definitely got a lot of that Illuminati stuff tied to it.
Yeah.
And there's the whole bear scene, which that just, it feels so random when you're watching it, but like when you start learning those backstories about about the those kind of parties and stuff like that, and the masked balls and all that stuff, it starts making sense.
And this was in 80.
Why it was snuck in there. Yeah, it's so crazy. Yeah.
God. That's crazy.
And that also shows like more of the dark side of the hotel and the hold that it had on people. Like it wasn't just one family one guy murdered his family or anything like that. It was like all kinds of stuff going on out there, and that was one of the things.
He was just one of the things in the whole scheme of horrible things that happened there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
As if wasn't enough. Like what happened, with him,
And if you watch any more of like Kubrick stuff, he also did, I know, pretty sure you've seen Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
He did that movie.
Yeah.
And that's all about that.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's just his thing. And he puts that in a lot of his movies, and it's kind of like, how much stuff did he know about that lifestyle, or, maybe he saw some of it and was part of it for a little bit and was like, maybe that was really why he was like, I'm getting the hell out of Hollywood.
See ya.
Right.
Right. And I'm going to put it in movies to kind of like
give people a little
show people what's actually happening out there.
Wow.
And oddly enough, he's had a heart attack or something after Eyes Wide Shut was released. Like, actually, I think it was like as it was released.
Really?
So, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was his last film.
There are a lot of different conspiracy theories, in this movie. So much, in fact, that there's a documentary called Room 237 full of them, with this movie. So if you're interested in learning about, more of those, check out Room 237. I haven't watched it yet. Have you?
No.
Yeah.
But I want to. It sounds interesting.
You'll have to watch it.
And actually, original room, I don't know why they changed it to 237, but apparently the original room number from the book maybe is like 217. Which is something I had just read today randomly.
Well, I mean, it might not have anything to do with it, but supposedly it was 237,000 miles to the moon. So maybe that was just another hint.
Yeah, could be both of those numbers, or maybe that's why Stanley or Kubrick did that. But the trajectory or the path of the moon isn't circular; it's elliptical.
Right.
So that distance does change based on like where it's at.
That's
you
true.
know, and it's like it's not a huge difference.
Yeah, it would
you know.
change.
So
yeah.
maybe it's 217 to 237. I don't know. What I've heard is from the podcast I've been listening to.
Okay.
Which is the occult symbolism in pop culture.
Awesome.
A dude that goes, it's not his real name. I don't remember his real name, but it goes by Isaac Weishaupt. But he's a, like, just listening to him break down some of the stuff gets really, really interesting.
Cool.
I don't know if any of this will ever cross his path or whatever, but if it does, thanks for, putting some of those knowledge nuggets out there for me to start wanting to dig into it and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that stuff since, I think he said it's about 14 years. So he's got,
he's got a few
it'll
episodes.
take a while for you to get caught up. Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know. I just reminded myself of another inconsistency with the book, between the book and the movie. And that's in the book, Jack dies. I guess the furnace explodes. He gets burnt up in the hotel, I guess.
Huh.
But in Kubrick's version, he dies out in the freezing cold.
God.
So it's like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, how much stuff did you really have against Stephen King?
He was trying to piss him off.
Oh yeah, I think he did a good job of it, But Stephen King hated it so much that he went and like revived it and did his own series on it to do it the right way, I guess. So.
Wow.
Which I haven't watched the Shining series.
I haven't seen that either.
Yeah. And I haven't seen Dr. Sleep yet either. I started watching it and coincidentally fell asleep while watching it.
It worked.
Yeah.
No.
So good movie. And it pisses me right off because I started watching it a couple of years ago and I guess I fell asleep, believe it or not. And then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to rewatch, or I'm going to try to watch it again. So I'll pull it up one day and now it's like you had to rent it. I was like, well, I'm not into it that much at that time. Like, I'm not going to rent it. So another year or two later, I'm like, oh, cool. It's like streaming again. Boom.
Fell asleep again.
Fell asleep. And guess what?
What?
It's available for rent again.
It's a cruel joke.
So, and I'm not renting it. Just because.
Wait for it to come back around again so you could fall asleep watching it.
There you go.
So thanks everyone for checking out this episode of Heavy Metal Horror Show. This is episode 1 of season 3. We plan on covering a lot more movies this year. We're so happy to be back, and we hope that you got something out of this episode that you may have not known before. If you haven't seen the movie, check it out. If you love a good suspense movie, if you love the 80s, you would love this movie, especially if you're a Jack Nicholson fan. You would really enjoy this movie. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yep. Everything he said. Thank you. That's
Sashay.
While he's busy sashaying, if you know some more awesome facts or conspiracy theories or something that's that you feel like we need to check out, then let us know in the comments, and we'd love to learn some more about it.
Here's Johnny. fucking